That's a drug on earth that nothing can compare to, like, and that's what I've been chasing since I was 14. Like, getting your hand raised, that's the drug. Like, you're just chasing it and chasing it and chasing it, and that's what's hard to let go.
Welcome back to Mulligan Brothers. Today's video, as always, was sponsored by Huel. I'm drinking Huel Black Edition, which has 26 vitamins and minerals, 35 grams of protein and slow release carbs to make sure that I can stay satiated whilst I make these documentaries. If you want to find out more about these, go to the link in the description. I'll talk about them a little bit later on in the video.
I had a question actually that I'd written out about the punishment. It was actually in reference to the last fight that you just had. But you said you just can't take the punishment anymore. But how would you describe the punishment, especially when you're specifically talking about the one fights?
Well, I was looking back on that yesterday, and I was looking at the highlights of that fight, and I was thinking, what were I doing in there? I said I couldn't take the punishment. I'm not surprised fighting like that. I was just getting involved in, like, just elbows, and I wasn't moving my head. I wasn't even trying to move. I was just content on just trying to go to war. And after having 2 years out of the ring with a horrible injury, I'm not surprised I couldn't take the punishment that I was doing in that fight, because there was no thought process in what I was doing whatsoever. I just went to war with a fighter who was renowned for going to war, and I lost at his game because I played straight into his hands. So I don't know whether I'm a bit hard on myself about not being able to take the punishment. I think that was just a ridiculous choice of how to fight that fight, but I just got caught up in it, and I thought, right, I'm going to knock him out. And then I didn't knock him out, and I got stopped myself. But yeah, like I do say, it is in those small gloves, the damage is a lot more. Like, you've got in MMA, the striking level is okay, and they take a lot of damage in them fights. But when you put a Muay Thai fighter, who are, in my opinion, who are the best strikers on the planet, you've seen everyone how they kick the pads and punch the pads. It is vicious, and you put them in 4-ounce gloves, the damage that they are going to do to each other is insane, really.
It looks like one of the most brutal, ways of viewing the sport. Like, on the one fight, it's like some of you guys, the way you come out of those fights is just like a train hit you. Like, it's crazy, man. Just, in preparation for that fight, what was the camp like? Like, what was the process like? Did you think you were going in this and you were confident of getting the win? I mean, I know that's your mentality always, but...
Yeah, I thought we were going to go in there and knock him out. I honestly thought that it would come down to trading blows like we did, and I'd be the one who came out on the end. You know what? When you've got them 4-ounce gloves on, if you meet someone in the middle 50-50, that's all it is, 50-50. It's going to be you or him, and unfortunately, it was me. And I was thinking, he's fought 6 times in the last year. In those gloves on one championship. He's active. He's been taking punishment. I'd been out for like nearly 2 years with a horrendous knee injury. I'd not been taking the punishment. I wasn't as sharp as I probably was going to be after a 2-year layoff. 39. And even though I felt really sharp and good in there, and then when it came down to it and we started trading, and there were some really good moments where we started training, he managed to walk through the shots and I didn't. And whether that's because I'm a little bit older and Father Time's caught up, or whether I've been out of the ring for 2 years, either way, coming back off that and coming to nearly 40 years old, I just didn't think it'd be wise for myself to be taking too much more damage in those 4-ounce gloves, which is why I laid my gloves down at the end. And as hard as that was, to know that I'll never go into that arena had 15,000 people in it. I've never known an atmosphere like it, and the ovation that I got from the American fans when I came out, like, that was the biggest and the best one I've ever had in my career. And it was just a shame that it ended like that. But again, I don't think it'd be wise for me at this point to carry on taking that sort of damage in those gloves, especially when I'm going to be coming into the second. Fighters have chapters and they've got a shelf life, and there's only so far you can go and there's only so far you can push it. My next chapter, I don't want to just think, I'm done with this now, what should I do? I don't want to sit around all day. I want to be in the gym, helping all the young ones coming through. I want to be sparring with them all the time. I still want to train as hard as possible and put my own training in and keep myself fit and strong. I want to wear pads every day. I don't want to have all my hands smashed to pieces. I don't want to be that guy who can't string a sentence together. I want to do so. Obviously, with the Hitman Fight League, which is my own promotion, we've got a decent TV deal now, and part of that is me hosting it. If I'm on there slurring the words and I can't talk, and so who's going to want to watch that? Do you know what I mean? So I just I had to think about what I'm going to do in the second part of my life, because I've been prepping for this for a while. I knew it was going to come, and as hard as it was laying them gloves down, I think it was the right decision.
It was pretty iconic. I mean, it made, headlines all over the place when the gloves got laid down. At what point did you know you was going to do that? Like, did you say going into the fight, I'm going to lay my gloves down?
No, I just decided just after the fight, I thought, you know what, I said that, because I was so sure I was going to win. In my head, I saw nothing other than me knocking him out. And then when I didn't, I was like, well, where do I go from here, really? It's like, do you know what I mean? I'm 39. I've had a lot of hard fights. I've took a lot of damage. Do I really need to keep taking this damage when I've got all that? And it was just all coming in. And maybe I was a little bit hard on myself, because I was thinking, at the time, I was thinking, would those shots have knocked me down? And I didn't think they would knock me down a few years ago when I were in my prime. And then a lot of people said, it's just then you find gaps in them small gloves that you wouldn't do in 8-ounce gloves. And when you don't see one of them shots come in, it causes damage. Like I got my nose like horrendously broken in that fight, and doctor had to snap it back afterwards. And I was thinking, do I need to still be doing this shit? I'm 39 years old. Do I need to be getting my nose snapped back in place from doctor and stuff? And I just thought, like, no, I don't. Not in the small gloves. And as much as I want to keep doing it, I know I'm not going to get any younger. I'm not going to get any stronger. I'm not getting any faster. And I don't want to be that guy who puts a massive who has an incredible career and then tarnishes it at the end by going on like a 3 or 4 fight losing streak and getting knocked out to people that in his prime he'd have wiped the floor with. I got to fight a legend in Sexan, and the guy I fought, he's a proper warlord. He's been one of my favourite fighters for years, and we got to stand in the middle of the ring. We swung it out. And when I got knocked down, I kept getting back up. And do you know what? I got a lot more respect from that fight and love off everyone, because I kept getting back up and trying to fight than most people do when they win. And I realised that over the years as well, because it started off like when I was younger thinking, need to win a belt, want to win a belt. Then it started off, I need to win a world title. Then it started off, right, I need to win this world title and that world title. And the older I've got and the wiser I've got, I've realised it's not about belts, it's not about titles. It's about winning the respect of your peers and the love of the fans and stuff like that. And if you get up when no one thinks you can, and even if you lose, but if you go down swinging, you will win that from it. And I can go away knowing that I've won the respect and the hearts of all the fans and stuff. And that means more to me than any world title.
Yeah, I love that mentality. Back to what your coach told you that first time, getting into that fight, it's the exact same thing, just giving it your all. In research for this, I was watching the James English podcast that you did. It was about 3 or 4 years ago, I think it was. And in that you said you struggle with the idea of letting go of this. You struggle. How have we got to today? Like, was there dark moments or difficult moments in like realizing you might have to put the gloves down at some point?
Yeah, I'm not quite there yet, because I've still got one from my last fight left, and I'm like, right, I've still got one last fight. You can just concentrate on that. Let's worry about it. If you lose your mind after, we'll worry about it then. But I'm lucky really, because since then I've been putting loads of other things in place. Like, we've got the new gym opening, and I'm now a co-owner of Bad Company. So I'm obviously going to have that to put energy into. I've got the Hitman Fight League promotion, which it's just blown up. It's gone absolutely massive. And don't like blow my own horn or all that, but we're biggest promotion in UK already. And we've only been around for about 18, 19 months. And we've had about 5 shows, and they're just getting bigger every time. We've just got a TV deal. They want me to host it and things like that. So at least I've got things where I can take my energy. Don't get me wrong, none of it is ever going to compare to this, and nothing will ever compare to being under them lights and being in a fight camp. And at least with the new gym though, I'll still be able to come down, and even when all the other fighters are in a fight camp, I'll still be involved in it. will be part of the sport. I'll still be part of it with them. I'll still be in front of a camera talking about it. I'll still be doing what I love. It'll just be the hard part, like not being the guy under the lights and having that buzz of getting your hands raised, because no, that's a drug on earth that nothing can compare to. Like, and that's what I've been chasing since I was 14, like getting your hands raised. That's the drug. Like, you're just chasing it and chasing it and chasing it. And that's what's hard to let go. But at the same time, I'm not as arrogant enough to think I can just keep going and keep winning. And I know I'm slowing down. I know I'm getting a little bit older. I know my reactions are a little bit slower. And like I said, I don't want to be that guy who starts getting knocked out. And you see guys like doing it all the time, like someone like Tony Ferguson in UFC and stuff. I'd like him to see him retire, but he just refuses, and he just won't stop, and he keep going and going. And I don't want to be that guy who just keeps where everyone else is saying, hey, he should probably retire. I want to go out on my own terms, which is why I'm having one more fight in the UK to say goodbye to the UK fans.
If you lead a busy life like me and millions of other people around the world, you might be struggling to get your nutrition in.
That's where this stuff comes in, absolutely clutch. If health was easy, everyone would be doing it. But Huel make it that easy. You scoop, you shake, and you go, and you get 26 vitamins and minerals, and every single ingredient inside this and all of Huel's other products has been expertly tested by their team to make sure you're getting exactly what you need. And if I'm really in a pinch for time, I'll grab their ready to drink, which has 35 grams of protein, 26 vitamins and minerals, and tastes delicious. Don't just take my word for it though. People like Idris Elba, Diver CEO Stephen Bartlett, and hardest geezer who ran the entire length of Africa use this as part of their daily routine. So if you want to find out more, go to the link down below. You can get exclusive offers, like if you sign up to their subscription service, you get 10% off all future orders, and if it's your first time ordering, you get a free shaker and t-shirt. It's also now available in major retailers in the UK and the US. What are you waiting for? Go get it. Yeah, I mean, when I messaged you, I was like, I want to do a video of The Last Dance. Like, that's what I wanted to do. And have you talk about it. So like, what's the mentality going into the fight?
I honestly can't wait. It's because there's such a difference between fighting in the one championship 4-ounce gloves, which I've been doing for the last 3-4 years, to 8-ounce gloves. And I feel like in the 4-ounce gloves, because it's just so wild and everyone's going for knockouts and everyone's trying to punch because you got 4 ounce on, and everyone's going for the bonus money because there's massive bonuses on one championship, a lot of the skill level gets taken away and people forget about it. I'm looking forward to fighting in the 8-ounce gloves again and bringing my skill level back out, and because I think people forget about that. Obviously I've had not a lot of knockouts and I'm a powerhouse, but I've got a like really high IQ when it comes to fighting and stuff, and I'm really looking forward to showing that again. I'm also looking forward to not smashing my hands into a million pieces and just having boxing gloves on as well. So yeah, and to have like the UK fans there as well, and it's absolutely insane. We put the tickets online, we announced the fight, and pretty much 3/4 sold out in a week. I don't think that's ever happened in UK Muay Thai before, so that absolutely blew me away. Like I know like I've got a good reputation with the fans, and we've got a great relationship, and they've supported me all these years. But for all those tickets to go in a week, it absolutely blew me away. That and to get to do it on my own show, get to headline my own show in Manchester, where I had my first fight. So it started there and it'll end there. So yeah, I think it'll be a special moment. And I didn't want to have my last fight. My dad's my biggest supporter, and he couldn't get out to the Denver fight because we've got 2 massive German shepherds. And when I go away at a fight, my missus always comes with me, and he has to look after her. My mum's only like 5 foot and she weighs about 48 kilos. She can't take him for a walk. So my dad was devastated. So my mum came out to Denver and watched the fight instead. And that was another reason I can't have a fight without him being in there. We're there in my first ever fight. He's followed me to Japan. He's come to Italy. He's come all over the world watching me. I thought I can't have my last fight without him there.
Yeah, a full circle is a great way of describing it, man. Have you thought about, I know you said you're really focused on this, but what does after look like? Like in terms of more like, I don't want to use this sort of phrase, but I think like mental health aspect of it, what do you think that looks like?
Yeah, this is where a lot of fighters come unstuck, and that's why I've spent so much time building my seminars, my website, and getting involved in this new gym and trying to get like commentary panel work done. I've done a little bit of media work with One Championship, and I've tried to build a lot of other like avenues to keep my brain busy. Because what happens to fighters is they're under the lights all their career, they're that guy, and then all of a sudden people forget you like that. Because there's always someone, as you leave, there's someone who just takes your space, and then he's the guy, and you sort of like left like, oh, well, I'm still here, I'm still not fighting, but they don't care. People want to see you in that ring, smashing someone to bits or getting smashed to bits. That's what they want. And it's sad that a lot of fighters, they'll just get pushed out and they ain't got anything else then. And that's why a lot of them get lost. A lot of them turn to drugs, a lot of them turn to drink. And I think that's why it's important that I've spent all this time sorting all these different things out, where I'm going to have all these different like ways to put my energy into, like the new gym, helping all the fighters, coaching in the new gym, my seminars. I'll still be able to travel, I'll still be able to teach, still be able to coach. I've built a really good reputation for myself as a coach over the last few years. And you know what, it was tough doing that, as well as being a professional fighter, traveling and doing seminars and helping other people and going to other gyms, as well as trying to be in a fight camp. That was tough, but it's going to all be worth it when I retire, because at least I've got that to fall back on, and everyone knows how good a coach I am now. And again, another thing is, not many fighters make good coaches. So I'm lucky that it's my fighting ability sort of translated into my coaching ability as well, because not many fighters can do that. So I've been lucky with that aspect. If you want to excel in something, you need to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Before my 16th birthday, I've won my first professional title and had about 8 pro fights. The discipline that fighting teaches you, it teaches you have to be disciplined, you have to persevere.